Hey Quilty friends, in today's video I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the AccuQuilt Go Me. Now I've never used an AccuQuilt before. I've always been a little bit curious about what they were, how they worked and what would be the advantages of them. So if you're wondering those same questions, then this video is for you. I have to tell you that the AccuQuilt was gifted to me. However, I'm not being paid to do this video. In the description I'll put a link for the AccuQuilt Go Me, and that is an affiliate link, which just means I make a small commission should you choose to purchase one by clicking on that link. But let's get into this Go Me. I'm really excited to take a look. I've never used one before. So let me find something to cut it open. So I've opened up the box. We've got our Go Me, which is heavy, but it's still light and portable. Does that make sense? I mean, I think the idea of this one is that it's portable and you could take to retreats and things. I mean, it's heavy on the scheme of things, but light, I think, for AccuQuilts. I'm saying that, but I've never had one before. Anyway, you get two dies, which are what are going to cut our shapes, and it says on the side here what they are. This one is a 1/4 square, and this one is a 1/2 square, and they both finish at 3 inches, and we also get patterns on them to make these quilt blocks. Can you see that? Then we get a mat, and I believe the mat goes on top when we're popping it through the Go Me. We get one mat that fits perfectly on top of our die, and some instructions and things, I'm guessing. Okay, instructions and tips for use. I'm not going to read all these to you and bore you. Let me just have a quick squiz and then I'll see if there's anything I think you need to know. So it's just telling me how to use it. One thing that it does say is when we place our fabric on, it wants it to go with the grain, and that basically means it wants the selvages on the outsides of the die. So if we open this up, just opens like that. They want the selvage on either side rather than coming in this way through the cutter. I'm going to have to turn that around because I need the handle towards me, I guess. So I guess it can go either way, and you just roll it whichever way if you're left or right-handed. But with your selvage, they want it either to this side or this side, not coming in from the way it goes in or out. That I hope that makes sense. But then I'm thinking if you use scrap, you're not really going to know which way it's going in. So I don't know how important that is. It is here right on page 2. So I'm guessing it's pretty important if you have control of that. Like I said, that's going to be hard to do if you're using fabric scraps. So I think it's pretty straightforward. It's a pretty simple machine. So they can cut 6 layers of fabric at a time. And I kind of thought that was the main advantage of them. And I thought, well, you know, that's kind of cool that you could cut fabric really quickly if you needed to do that. But what really got me interested in them is finding out that it does help you mark that 1/4 inch seam allowance. So when you're lining up your pieces, they all line up really nicely. And they also pre-cut off all the dog ears. You're not going to have any dog ears. So I thought, oh, that really is an advantage. And it kind of got me a little bit more intrigued about them. But let's open up one of these dies and take a closer look. Okay, so like I said, it comes with a little pattern here, and that's called a turnstile pattern, well, a turnstile quilt block, and it shows you exactly how to make it. So that's really neat. And I'm guessing there's all sorts of blocks and things you can make from them. Really, your imagination is your only limit. And that's what it looks like. So this is foam. And then what we want to do is place our fabric over the dark piece of foam. So if we're placing our fabric and it's not completely inside the dark part of the foam, it's not going to cut our shapes properly. Does that make sense? They call this one the 1/2 square 3 inch. And then if I open up this one, we've got another pattern, which I would keep. This is a Yankee puzzle. I think those are kind of cool. And there we have our second die. So it's a different color, isn't it? I don't know, I find that interesting that it's not like the same colors, the foam. But you see the outline of the shape? We need to make sure our fabric is sitting outside those shapes. I wonder if it tells me what size my fabric needs to be to go on there. I'm just going to open up this little bag And what do they call this? This is the Go cutting mat. And then you put your fabric on, we pop that on, and then we put it through here and we crank it through. But how about I quickly go find some fabric, find out what size I need to cut it, and I'll meet you back here and show you how it works. So I found the pattern book, which is really helpful. It told me in here exactly what size my pieces need to be to make sure that they're going to be cutting correctly. And that was 4 3/4 inches for both of them. And of course it can be a little bit bigger if they're just scraps, but that was a good place to start. And then inside there are 3 different patterns. We've got the card trick wall hanging. We've got the broken dishes table runner and a cute little baby quilt, which is called the Windy Baby Quilt. So it tells you exactly how many pieces to cut and how you'll make those patterns using just these 2 dies. So you can imagine the sky's the limit just with these 2 dies, but then there's all sorts of other dies you can buy. So I've cut with both of them. It's a lot of fun and I can see how people kind of get a bit obsessed with them. I'm going to pop this one away and I'm just going to take our one with our 4/4 and I'm going to place my fabric on top. How many pieces have I got here? I've got 3 pieces. We can have up to 6. I'm going to place them right on top, remembering that we need to be covering our shape. And if any of those pieces happen to be falling outside of that shape or inside of that shape, it's not going to cut them correctly. I'm going to place my mat on top and then I'm going to get my Go Me and we're just going to pop it here. And we do need to just apply a little bit of pressure and then we turn the handle. There we go. And then you can see it's taking it. And it's pretty easy to turn the handle. I mean, it's very easy. There's just a little bit of pressure there. So it's not like nothing. There's a little bit of pressure, but it's easy. And then it's just come out the other side. And then we can close this up. It's got like magnets in it. So you can see that's quite compact. And then let's have a look at our shape. So if I take that off, you can see it there. I'll take away all the excess. And you can see we've got our shapes. And then they're just cut absolutely perfectly. If you can imagine how long it would take to cut out those shapes with your rotary cutter, it would take a lot longer than that. And these are so precise. That's another thing I'm really loving about it. So let me show you what project I just quickly made. So I made this cute little block using just these 2 dies here, and it was the card trick block. Now in the pattern book, it's for a wall hanging and you make 4 and then you add borders on. But I thought just to show you, I'd just make the 1 and then I thought I'd make that into a little pot holder and it would be perfect for fall that's coming up. But I really enjoyed it and I just wanted to show you one of the things I really liked about it close up quickly. So we just wanted to show you how nicely it cut my pieces and they're all perfect. And then here if we take a look at this, I've got 2 of my 1/4 square triangles sewn together. And then if we pop it on top of our 1/2 square triangle, it fits on there perfectly. And we've, oh, let me just adjust that. And we've already got our dog ears trimmed. Isn't that really cute? So there we have the AccuQuilt Go Me. This was just meant to be a really informal unboxing. I didn't want to do like a proper tutorial. I just wanted it to be really casual and unbox it with you and have a play. And my initial thoughts are I really do like it. I can see how it saves time and how it is just so accurate, which I love. Now AccuQuilt did give me the bow tie die. There are a whole lot of dies you can get with this, all sorts of quilt blocks, different sets, different shaped dies. And they've given me the bow tie one. I actually requested it because if you read my newsletter, you'll know that I've got a puppy. He's a French bulldog and I think he would look so adorable with a little bow tie. So I will be doing a more formal tutorial on how to make that bow tie. So watch out for that. And I'd also love for you to sign up for my newsletter. I'll put a link down below and that's how you can stay in the know with everything I do. But for now, I just want to thank you for watching until the very end. I really appreciate you.